What will you do if you could see the dead, people who are no longer alive? How will you cope when they start asking for your help? This is the story of Ngozi, a girl with a gift that brings her closer to the spirits of the dead, a gift that will either change her life or destroy her world forever. First of all, if you've not subscribed to this channel by this time, please hit that subscribe button, like, share and also comment. Thank you. In a small quiet village surrounded by green hills and tall palm trees, there lived a happy family. Papa Ngozi, a hard-working farmer, and Mama Ngozi, a skilled weaver, who were loved by everyone. They were older than most parents in the village and had long prayed for a child. After many years of waiting and tears, they were finally blessed with a baby girl. They named her Ngozi, meaning blessing. Ngozi grew up in joy, laughter and love. Her parents adored her and gave her everything they could, even though they were not wealthy. Every evening, they would gather around the fire, eating roasted yam, telling folk tales and singing songs. Life was indeed perfect. Until her 18th birthday. Ngozi had started noticing strange things, shadows moving where no one stood, whispers in the night and cold chills that made her heart race. But she thought nothing of it. Then one warm evening after dinner, while sitting under the big udala tree outside their compound, something happened that she would never forget. She was humming softly when she noticed a man sitting under a mango tree just across the path. He looked sad, his face buried in his hands. Ngozi frowned. It was unusual to see someone there at that hour. The man's clothes were old-fashioned and his figure looked strange, almost transparent. Ngozi's heart pounded as she stood. Who could he be? What is he doing there? She wanted to run inside, but a strange force pushed her to stay. Summoning courage, she stepped forward closer to him. Una, gini meregi? Sir, what is wrong with you? She asked, her voice trembling. The man slowly raised his head, his eyes locking with hers. The moment their eyes met, his expression changed to fear. He gasped loudly and vanished into thin air. Ngozi screamed and bolted back into her house. Mama, Papa, somebody was outside. He disappeared, she shouted, shaking. Her parents, startled, rushed to her side. Ngozi, calm down. What happened? Her father asked, holding her shoulders. She told them everything, but they only laughed. Ngozi, maybe you fell asleep and dreamt it, Mama Ngozi said, shaking her head. No, Mama, I saw him. He was sitting under the mango tree. My daughter, spirits don't live here, Papa Ngozi said, trying to reassure her. But that night, Ngozi couldn't sleep. She kept hearing whispers, soft cries and faint footsteps outside the window. She pulled her wrapper tightly around her and prayed for morning to come. Days turned into weeks and Ngozi realized something shocking. She wasn't imagining things. She began seeing more of them, shadowy figures passing by, women wailing in the distance and children playing in fields where no one lived. They didn't notice her and she tried her best to ignore them. One evening, the same man from under the mango tree appeared again. This time, he didn't look afraid. He approached her as she stood by the gate. Please help me, he said, his voice heavy with sorrow. Ngozi froze. Who are you? She stammered. My name is Chukwuemeka, he said. I need your help. You can see me. I know you can. Ngozi stepped back. What do you want from me? The man sighed. I was a wealthy man in this village. I died in an accident a few months ago. My wife and daughter are now suffering because my brother has taken everything I owned. He drove them out of my house. Please, you must help me. Ngozi shook her head. No, this is not my problem. I don't want to get involved. Please, Chukwuemeka begged. All I ask is that you go to my wife and give her this number. It belongs to my lawyer. He has my will, which gives everything to my wife and child. They don't deserve to suffer. Ngozi was stunned. She didn't want to meddle in such a serious matter, but she also felt sorry for the man. After much pleading, she agreed. She told her parents everything, and though they were skeptical, they agreed to help her. Together, they visited the widow in the village, and with the lawyer's help, the will was found. Justice was served. Chukwuemeka's wife and daughter got back their home, and the wicked brother was arrested. For the first time, Ngozi felt the weight of her gift. She realized she had the power to help those who couldn't speak for themselves. But her journey was just beginning. Ngozi thought her life would return to normal after helping Chukwuemeka, but her gift had opened a door that could not be closed. One night, while laying in bed, she heard a faint cry. It was soft at first, like the whimpering of a child. She sat up and listened carefully. The sound came from outside her window. Ngozi's heart raced as she peeped through the curtain. There, under the moonlight, was a small boy. He couldn't have been older than 6, sitting on the ground, his tiny hands covering his face. His cries were heartbreaking. Ngozi hesitated. Who is this child? What is he doing here at this hour? She whispered a quick prayer, then opened the door. Child, what is wrong with you? She asked gently, stepping closer. The boy didn't respond. Instead, he looked up, his face streaked with tears. His eyes were hauntingly empty. The moment Ngozi got closer, he vanished into thin air, leaving only the sound of his cries behind. Ngozi gasped and ran back inside. This became a nightly occurrence, the boy crying outside her window and disappearing whenever she approached. She was too scared to tell her parents, afraid they wouldn't believe her this time. One night, the boy's cries were louder, more desperate. Ngozi couldn't ignore it anymore. She stood at her window and called out, Nwanta, what do you want from me? The boy looked up, his face filled with sadness. This time he didn't vanish. Instead, he stood and began walking. Ngozi's heart pounded as she followed him. He led her through the village paths, past the farms and into the bushes. The cries of crickets and hoots of owls surrounded them. Ngozi felt a chill but pressed on. Finally, the boy stopped and pointed at a spot on the ground. It was overgrown with weeds, but the earth looked disturbed, as though something had been buried there recently. Help me, the boy said, his voice barely above a whisper. Ngozi knelt beside him. What do you want me to do? The boy stretched out his hand. Hold my hand, he said. Ngozi hesitated but slowly reached out. The moment their hands touched, her vision blurred and she found herself in another time. She saw a grand palace filled with laughter and music. A king sat on his throne, his wives by his side. The first wife, stern and elegant, had been unable to get pregnant for years, so the king married a second wife. The second wife soon got pregnant. However, when her pregnancy was due, the doctor told them she can't deliver through normal birth and they must operate on her. The second wife soon gave birth to a boy, but the joy was short-lived. Ngozi saw a doctor injecting the baby with something. The boy stopped crying and lay still. The doctor told the family and the king that the child was stillborn, but Ngozi saw the truth. She watched as the first wife paid the doctor to kill the child and ensure the second wife would never conceive again. The king, devastated, remained childless until the first wife faked a pregnancy months later. With the help of the doctor, she presented a stolen baby as her own. The vision ended with the boy, now a spirit, pointing at the spot where he was buried. "They want my throne, they want my birthright," he said. Ngozi woke up trembling. She couldn't believe what she had seen. The boy wanted her to stop the coronation of the fake prince as the king is now very sick. She confided in her father, who listened carefully. "Ngozi, this is a serious matter," he said. "We cannot accuse the king's wife without proof." Her father suggested they speak to the kingmaker, a respected elder known for his fairness. Though skeptical, the kingmaker agreed to help. He devised a plan. The king and the prince would provide urine samples for a traditional bond ritual, but secretly a DNA test would be conducted. On the day of the coronation, the village gathered in excitement. Drummers played, women danced, and men cheered. The king was about to announce his son as the new heir. Before he could speak, the kingmaker stood up. "Your Highness, there is something we must settle before proceeding," he said. The crowd fell silent as the kingmaker revealed the truth to the king. The boy was not the king's son. They all erupted in gasps and murmurs, but the king didn't believe until the DNA test results were presented. The king, shocked, turned to his wife. "Is this true?" he demanded. The queen stammered, but before she could respond, Ngozi stepped forward. "Your Highness, I know the truth. The boy who was killed many years ago revealed everything to me. Also, this your first wife has been the one poisoning your food, so you will die slowly for her son to take over soon." The room went silent. Ngozi recounted the vision, revealing the evil deeds of the first wife and the doctor. The king was horrified. "I trusted you," he shouted at the queen. The queen tried to escape but was arrested on the spot. The doctor was also brought to justice. As the king recovered from the shock, Ngozi thought her mission was complete. But as the village celebrated, an old man appeared at the edge of the crowd. He beckoned to Ngozi. "Wham, come," he said. She approached him cautiously. "Who are you?" The man smiled faintly. "I am here to tell you something that will change your life forever." So guys, this is just the first part of this incredible story. If you've not subscribed, do hit that subscribe button so that when we post the part 2 of this story, you'll get notified immediately. Thanks for watching.